What's going on, Hooper? This is Coach Kyle, and today we're going to be looking at mastering your shot. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced player, we're going to be looking at techniques that every shooter needs to follow in order to master their shooting. Let's go take a look. You want to pay attention to, so for example, if our elbow is behind that basketball, so I'll slow you down. Hold that ball. Your favorite shooter doesn't start from the free throw line. They don't start from the three-point line, nor do they start right away from the logo. They start right in front of the basket. So we're gonna go ahead and master our shot and look at the specific techniques that we need in order to master that shot. Now, when we start in close, right, we wanna pay attention to our technique. So we have the BASE acronym. Many shooters are familiar with it. We start with our base. That's gonna be the letter B in beef. Now your feet don't have to be perfectly squared. You could have a slight tilt, right? We're not facing directly at the basket. We're gonna be slightly angled, right? That way our elbow, hand, wrist can be aligned, right? If we're too square, now our body is sort of fighting each other. When we have that slight tilt, right? Everything is in one line, right? Boom, perfect angle to get right into that straight line. Next up is gonna be our eyes. Now, if you aim for the rim, you're gonna hit the rim. So for example, if my aim is the basket and I shoot right at the basket, I just hit my target because my aim is the basket. I wanna aim 2 inches above the front of the rim. So that's gonna be my target. That's gonna be the first letter E. Then we have the second letter E in the word beef. That's gonna be our elbow. Now our elbow needs to be behind the basketball. If our elbow is behind the ball, it's gonna be underneath the basketball. Then there's 3 points. Behind, there's under, and then over our eyes. So we wanna hit all 3 parts for our elbow. Behind, under, then over. That's gonna be our elbow, right? A lot of coaches talk about elbow in, right? But then instead of just trying to jam that elbow in, right? If right away you can get that elbow behind the ball, right? That means our hand is underneath. Too many players' hand is on the side. Then coaches are saying, hey, get your elbow in. But right, once we get that elbow behind the ball, boom, one straight line on the way up. So that's gonna be our elbow. There's 3 points. Next up is gonna be our follow through. When we freeze that follow through, right, we've all heard it, hand in the cookie jar, right? Go ahead and freeze that follow through. Now, that's gonna be the basic beef points. Base, eyes, elbow, and follow through. As we look into our shot, we're gonna be looking at other key points. What finger or fingers are gonna be the last to touch the ball after we shoot? Now, if we don't even think about this, we could release the ball off our ring finger, our pinky, our middle, our index, whatever have you. But if we're very specific, ball needs to roll off index and middle finger every single time. So now if we can be consistent in how we release, our shot is gonna be way more consistent. Right now, we're gonna go ahead and try to focus on getting our index and middle finger last to touch, to where even in my fall through, I might even have index and middle just point straight down and leave my thumb right in between as a quick check, right? Index, middle, last 2 fingers to touch. Now let's look at one more element, right? The fluidity. Now, as we start to scoot back, we need to make sure we have good fluidity in our shot. The more we stop and the more we hitch, we're gonna lose a lot of power. So we wanna remain nice and fluid into our shot. Try not to hitch and try to remain as fluid as we can. Right, next up, right, we wanna move that basketball. So, along the same line as getting nice and fluid, we need to move this basketball. Many players will lock their legs out and then their arms follow. Now we're looking at a 1 and then a 2 shot. You're losing a lot of power. So we want to be able to lock out legs, elbow at the same time. Both locking out. So we need to move that ball. Most players will move that ball late, so we need to move that ball first, lock out at the same time. Especially at the 3-point line, it's important that we move that ball. Boom. Move that ball first, right, before your body. Right, there's old saying, ball before body. Let's get it. All right, so now we're gonna try to get a streak. We need our shot to be as consistent as possible. Make sure we're flowing into our shot. It's the same rhythm, and we're releasing off these 2 fingers. Once again, we're flowing into our shot. A lot of momentum. Releasing off the same 2 fingers every single time. Our target remains the same, 2 inches above the front of the rim, right? We're not aiming at the rim, we're aiming over the rim. Nice and fluid. Now notice we're stepping into our shot, not to the side. You can hop into our shot if you like, right? It's called a foot replacement, but for now, just keeping that same rhythm. Ball in the air, feet in the air, allowing us to generate as much power as we can. We want that shot to be effortless, right? So we're stepping right into that shot every single time. Boom, nice fluidity. Boom, our release is the same. We're snapping that wrist at the top of our release. You know, every time we're hands ready, feet ready. Boom. And right into that cookie jar every time. Boom. Go ahead and lock it right there. All right, so that was front rim. We want to try to get a switch. All right, a little bit to the right. We're always making slight adjustments as shooters. There we go. We're back to the swish. Let's see if we can keep switching. Back rim. Right? It's those little details, right? Even though the ball went in, what part of the rim are you hitting? So right now, we're constantly hitting the back rim. There's a swish. All right, let's go for another swish. There you go. All right, let's keep this consistent now. Boom. Here we go, 3 swishes in a row. All right, 4 swishes in a row. All right, so we're gonna extend to NBA range. Once again, we wanna keep that fluidity. Don't let that ball slow you down. Move that ball first, right, and lock out same time. Really move that ball. Right, good, hands ready, feet ready. Nice and fluid. Right, we're not aiming at the rim. We're aiming right 2 inches over. Snapping that wrist at the top. Releasing right with fingers 1 and 2. Hands ready, feet ready. Boom, you're right. Right, same shot every single time. Right, if you're a premier shooter, you're gonna really pay attention to where that ball is hitting. So even though you're making it, where exactly? So that time it was back rim. Let's see if you can swish it. Boom, back rim again, all right? Here we go, let's get a swish. Back rim again, all right. At least right now we're conscious of where it's hitting, all right? So right now we're making it. I'm trying to find that switch, same spot. But that's the last miss. Here we go. All right now we're gonna end on 10 in a row. Here we go. There's 1, there's 2, now we're swishing. Here we go. There's 3. Here we go. Let's get 4. Get it. There's 5. Here we go. There's 6. 7. 7. Right into it. All good. Here we go. Right into it. Good. Let's get 2 more. Good. Hand ready, feet ready. And there you have it. All right. In order for us to master our shooting, it's going to be important we master those little details. There's a lot of key points that we looked at, but I want to leave you with fluidity, flow, and releasing off these two fingers. Flow, fluidity, and fingers. Let's get it.